Silent watchers. The quantum detection array beneath Mount Fuji pulsed with unprecedented activity. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the holographic display, her heart racing as she interpreted the data streams. After 15 years of waiting, it was finally happening. "Confirm these readings," she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The array had picked up what they'd been searching for, the distinct signature of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The Global Defense Council had prepared for this moment since the discovery of alien wreckage in the Gobi Desert 60 years ago. That crash site had given humanity a glimpse of what lay beyond Earth's atmosphere. And the time to prepare. The quantum detection array beneath Mount Fuji pulsed with unprecedented activity. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the holographic display, her heart racing as she interpreted the data streams. After 15 years of waiting, it was finally happening. "Confirm these readings," she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The array had picked up what they'd been searching for, the distinct signature of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. Lieutenant Kai Tanaka leaned forward at his station, dark eyes fixed on the cascading data. "Confirmed, Doctor. Multiple signatures, moving in formation. Approximate count, 7 capital ships, 15 support vessels." Sarah activated her neural link, connecting directly to the Global Defense Council's secure network. Within seconds, holographic representations of military and scientific leaders materialized around her in the dimly lit command center. Fleet Admiral Helena Reyes spoke first, her weathered face betraying no emotion. "Dr. Chen, you're certain. The quantum signatures match the theoretical models we developed from the Gobi artifacts. These are the same species that crashed there 60 years ago." Sarah manipulated the holographic display, highlighting the approaching fleet's trajectory. "They're maintaining a direct course toward Earth, decelerating from FTL in controlled bursts." General Zhang Wei of the Asian Coalition Forces nodded slowly. "Then Operation Sleeping Dragon is now active. All GDC facilities will initiate silent running protocols." Across the globe, humanity's greatest deception began. Massive underground facilities powered down their external signatures. Orbital defense platforms disguised as communication satellites continued their seemingly random paths. In the asteroid belt, automated manufacturing centers went dark. 3 generations of preparation were about to be tested. "What about the civilian sector?" asked Dr. Marcus Rivera, head of the Technology Containment Division. "We're still showing multiple quantum research facilities operating at full capacity. Initiate protocol blackout," Admiral Reyes commanded. "All advanced research facilities transfer to subsurface operations. Civilian quantum tech goes dark in the next 48 hours. Let's show our visitors exactly what they expect to see. A primitive civilization just beginning to understand particle physics." Sarah watched as the global quantum network began its carefully orchestrated shutdown. The public would notice nothing. Their internet, satellites, and daily technologies would continue functioning normally. But humanity's true technological achievements would vanish behind a veil of carefully crafted mediocrity. The alien fleet's deceleration continued exactly as predicted. Sarah had spent her entire career studying the Gobi artifacts, learning everything she could about the species that had created them. The Kraxan, as they called themselves in the recovered data, were methodical and hierarchical. They followed established first contact protocols with unwavering precision. "Thermal imaging from Luna Base confirms they're scanning the planet," Lieutenant Tanaka reported. "Standard EM spectrum sweeps, gravitational mapping, atmospheric analysis." "Let them look," Sarah said, allowing herself a small smile. "They'll see exactly what we want them to see. A planet still dependent on fossil fuels, with primitive fission reactors and early-stage space exploration capabilities." The reality couldn't have been more different. Earth's energy grid had run on zero-point modules for the past 20 years. The fission plants were maintained purely for show, venting artificial heat signatures while generating no actual power. Even the International Space Station, that seemingly primitive orbital habitat, contained more advanced technology than the entire Kraxan fleet. Admiral Rice's hologram stepped forward. "Dr. Chen, you've studied them longer than anyone. What's their likely next move?" Sarah pulled up the behavioral models she developed. "Based on their social hierarchy and previous contact patterns we discovered in the Gobi data, they'll establish orbit and attempt communication. They believe in their technological superiority. It's fundamentally tied to their concept of civilization. They'll expect us to be awed by their arrival. And if we show appropriate amazement at their magnificent presence," General Zhang's tone carried a hint of dark humor, "they'll attempt to establish a protectorate relationship. The Kraxan believe it's their duty to guide lesser species toward their version of civilization." Sarah's expression hardened. "Which is exactly what we're counting on." The holographic displays updated as new data flowed in. The Kraxan fleet had passed Mars orbit, their deceleration burns visible to even civilian telescopes now. Soon, Earth's population would know they weren't alone in the universe. They would react with the expected mix of fear, wonder, and uncertainty. Emotions carefully cultivated by decades of media preparation. "Initiate Phase 2, Admiral Rice commanded. "Dr. Chen, you'll lead the first contact team when they establish communication. Your knowledge of their language and customs from the Gobi data makes you our best option for maintaining the deception." Sarah nodded, her mind already racing through the countless simulations she'd run for this moment. "I'll begin assembling my team. We'll present ourselves as a coalition of Earth's leading scientists, properly awestruck by their technology, of course. Remember," General Zhang cautioned, "we only get one chance at this. If they detect our true capabilities too soon." "They won't," Sarah assured him. "The quantum masking technology we developed works perfectly. As far as their sensors can tell, we're exactly what we appear to be. A young species taking its first steps into space." She paused, studying the approaching fleet. "They have no idea they're flying into a trap 60 years in the making." The command center hummed with purposeful activity as Earth's defense forces maintained their careful charade. In deep space, automated sensors tracked the Kraxan fleet's every move. Beneath the surfaces of Mars and Venus, hidden bases remained on high alert. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, and Sarah Chen would ensure that preparation wasn't wasted. "One more thing," Admiral Rice added before disconnecting. "The Gobi artifacts suggested their ships are vulnerable to quantum-targeted attacks. Confirm your strike packages are ready." Sarah gestured, bringing up a secure weapons display. "All packages are primed and distributed throughout the solar system. The moment they move against us, we'll show them humanity's true face." The holograms winked out one by one, leaving Sarah alone with her command staff. Above them, the quantum detection array continued its silent vigilance, tracking the approaching fleet's every movement. Humanity's greatest performance was about to begin, and Sarah Chen would direct the opening act. Lieutenant Tanaka's voice broke the silence. "They're beginning their final deceleration burn, Doctor. Estimated arrival in Earth orbit. 72 hours. Sarah straightened her uniform, feeling the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. "Send the alert to all GDC facilities. Operation Sleeping Dragon is now fully active." She allowed herself one final moment of reflection before turning to her duties. "Let's welcome our visitors properly." The deception. The Kraxan flagship emerged from the morning sun like a metallic leviathan, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight in prismatic patterns across Earth's atmosphere. Sarah Chen stood on the roof of the United Nations building in New York, surrounded by Earth's hastily assembled leadership council. Everything about this moment had been choreographed, from the diplomatic team's slightly outdated tablets to their mix of awe and apprehension. "Remember," she sub-vocalized through her quantum link, "look impressed but not terrified. We're playing the role of an emerging civilization about to meet their galactic neighbors." The assembled diplomats and scientists maintained their practiced expressions as the alien shuttle descended. Its anti-gravity drive created a soft hum that was deliberately loud enough to be impressive without being overwhelming. The Kraxan, Sarah knew, believed strongly in theatrical displays of technological superiority. High Ambassador Krelvor emerged from the shuttle first, his towering frame encased in ceremonial armor that sparkled with embedded technology. Two subordinate diplomats followed, their movements precise and deliberately graceful. Sarah had studied their body language extensively through recovered footage from the Gobi crash. Every gesture was calculated to reinforce their perceived superiority. People of Earth, Krelvor's translated voice boomed across the gathering. We come in peace, bearing the gifts of knowledge and advancement. The translation software they'd provided was impressive by public Earth standards, but primitive compared to what Sarah used in her secure facility. Sarah stepped forward, playing her role as humanity's lead scientist. High Ambassador, we welcome you to Earth. Your arrival marks a historic moment for our species. She allowed a carefully measured tremor of excitement to enter her voice. Krelvor's secondary eyes flickered, a sign of satisfaction she recognized from her research. Your world stands on the threshold of a great journey. The Kraxan Confederation will guide you toward your destiny among the stars. Behind her carefully maintained expression of gratitude, Sarah monitored the quantum feeds from Earth's hidden defense network. The Kraxan's entire fleet had positioned itself in textbook formation around Earth, exactly where humanity's defense plans had anticipated they would. The diplomatic dance continued through the morning. The Kraxan presented various technological gifts: medical scanners, atmospheric processors, and educational databases. Each was accepted with appropriate wonder and gratitude, even though Sarah knew that reversed-engineered versions of most of these technologies were already in use throughout Earth's secret facilities. Your species shows remarkable potential, Krelvor observed as they toured the UN building. Your transition from fossil fuels to basic nuclear fission was quite rapid. We strive to advance, Sarah replied modestly. Though we've had our setbacks, our attempts at quantum research have been challenging. She gestured to a deliberately flawed quantum computer display in the science exhibition hall. The High Ambassador's primary eyes narrowed slightly. Quantum mechanics is indeed a difficult field for younger races to grasp, perhaps with proper guidance. The implied condescension was exactly what Sarah had been waiting for. She activated a subtle neural signal, and across the globe, carefully prepared quantum research accidents began to occur. Minor explosions, containment failures, and power fluctuations, all designed to reinforce the Kraxan's belief in humanity's technological limitations. We would be honored to learn from your expertise, Sarah said, maintaining her mask of earnest humility. The day progressed according to plan. The Kraxan presented their standard protectorate agreement, filled with carefully worded clauses that would effectively place Earth under their control. The human delegation made a show of being overwhelmed by the legal complexity, requesting time to study the documents. But beneath the surface, humanity's true response was already in motion. Quantum-shielded factories beneath the Pacific Ocean accelerated production of weapon systems. Hidden bases on Mars and Venus went to full alert status. The asteroid belt's automated defense platforms maintained their silent vigil, waiting for the signal to reveal their true nature. As evening approached, Krelvor prepared to return to his flagship. "We will give you 3 of your days to consider our generous offer," he announced. "Know that accepting Kraxan guidance is the surest path to your species' advancement." Sarah bowed slightly, the perfect picture of a scientist humbled by superior knowledge. "We are grateful for your patience, High Ambassador. Humanity will carefully consider your proposal." As the alien shuttle ascended, Sarah received a priority alert through her neural link. Admiral Rice's voice came through on a quantum-encrypted channel. "They're scanning everything, Doctor. Deep planetary surveys, orbital sweeps, atmospheric analysis." "Let them look," Sarah subvocalized. "Operation Sleeping Dragon is functioning perfectly. They're seeing exactly what we want them to see." She watched the shuttle dock with the Kraxan flagship, its crystalline hull gleaming in the setting sun. "How are our guests behaving?" Predictably arrogant, Rice replied. They positioned their fleet to enable a rapid deployment of troops if needed. Standard intimidation tactics for a species they consider primitive. Sarah allowed herself a small smile as she headed to her waiting vehicle. Maintain current protocol. Let them think their subtle display of military might is having the desired effect. She paused, considering their next move. And Admiral, initialize Project Oracle. It's time to see just how much pressure our visitors can take before they show their true intentions. As her quantum-shielded car navigated through New York's evening traffic, Sarah reviewed the day's events. The Kraxan had performed exactly as expected, arrogant, condescending, and completely convinced of their technological superiority. They had no idea that every gift they'd presented, every piece of technology they'd displayed, had been thoroughly analyzed and improved upon decades ago. Soon, they would learn the cost of underestimating humanity. But for now, the game would continue. Sarah activated her secure link to the Global Defense Council. Phase 2 is complete, she reported. Begin Phase 3 preparations. It's time to show our visitors just how primitive humanity can be. Breaking point. The crisis began with a malfunction in one of Earth's orbital satellites. Sarah Chen watched from her quantum command center as the seemingly primitive communications array drifted off course, tumbling toward a Kraxan support vessel. The aliens would see it as yet another example of human technological incompetence. In reality, it was the first move in humanity's carefully orchestrated endgame. Satellite approaching Kraxan vessel, Lieutenant Tanaka reported. They're powering up their tractor beam. Right on schedule, Sarah murmured. The moment the Kraxan ship engaged its beam, quantum sensors hidden within the satellite would map their entire energy distribution network. Time to add some pressure. Initiate Protocol Icarus. Across Earth's orbit, other satellites began showing signs of instability. Nothing too obvious. A solar panel misalignment here, a communication error there. But each malfunction forced the Kraxan to expend resources, to reveal more of their technological capabilities as they attempted to prevent these primitive human devices from damaging their ships. High Ambassador Krelvor's hologram materialized in the command center, his expression stern. Dr. Chen, these failures in your orbital infrastructure are becoming concerning. Perhaps it's time to discuss accelerating our oversight of your technological development. Sarah projected the perfect mix of embarrassment and gratitude. High Ambassador, we are deeply sorry for these inconveniences. Our systems are not as reliable as we would wish. She paused, letting her words carry the implication of human inadequacy. However, our leadership is still reviewing your protectorate agreement. We require the full 3 days you granted us. The ambassador's secondary eyes flickered with irritation. The continued instability of your technology poses risks to our fleet. For your own safety, we must insist on implementing immediate oversight measures. And there it was, the first crack in their diplomatic facade. Sarah had predicted this response, knew that the Kraxans' inherent need for control would eventually override their first contact protocols. She glanced at the quantum display, showing the positions of Earth's hidden defenses. Everything was in place. Ambassador, she began, maintaining her diplomatic tone, while we appreciate your concern. The command center's alerts suddenly flared red. On the main display, one of the Kraxan support ships was moving to intercept a cluster of malfunctioning satellites near the International Space Station. Multiple energy signatures detected, Tanaka announced. They're powering up their primary weapons array. Sarah allowed genuine alarm to enter her voice. Ambassador Krelvor, surely there's no need for such dramatic measures. They're only communication satellites, which pose a threat to our vessels, Krelvor interrupted. We will demonstrate the proper method of orbital debris management. His hologram vanished before she could respond. They're charging their particle beam weapons, Tanaka reported, targeting our satellite cluster. Sarah straightened, dropping her mask of subservience. Send the signal to Admiral Reyes. The Kraxan have shown their true colors sooner than expected. Initiate Protocol Prometheus. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a quantum-shielded facility, Admiral Rice received the signal. "About damn time," she muttered, then activated the fleet-wide command channel. "All forces, Operation Sleeping Dragon is now entering final phase. Commence emergence protocols." The Kraxan ship fired its particle beam at the satellite cluster, expecting to demonstrate their overwhelming technological superiority. Instead, the beam struck a quantum shield that hadn't existed seconds before, dispersing harmlessly into space. In the command center, Sarah watched as confusion rippled through the alien fleet's communications. "Deploy the orbital defense grid," she ordered. "Let's show our visitors what humanity is really capable of." Across Earth's orbit, seemingly innocent satellites transformed. Communication arrays became energy weapon platforms. Weather monitoring stations revealed advanced shield generators. The International Space Station itself shed its primitive exterior, exposing the quantum battle station hidden beneath. By the progenitors, Krelvor's hologram reappeared, his composure shattered. "What deception is this?" "Merely a demonstration of humanity's true capabilities, Ambassador." Sarah's voice carried none of its previous submissiveness. "Did you really think we wouldn't prepare after finding your crashed ship in the Gobi Desert? That we wouldn't learn from it, improve upon it?" The Kraxan fleet was reacting now, ships moving into combat formation. But they'd positioned themselves exactly where Earth's defense plan had anticipated, their formations optimized to intimidate a primitive species rather than engage in actual combat. "You dare to steal our technology," Krelvor's voice thundered. "To deceive a superior civilization." "Superior." Sarah allowed herself a cold smile. "You showed us exactly what you are the moment you threatened our satellites. Your guidance is nothing but conquest wrapped in diplomatic niceties." She gestured, and the quantum display showed hundreds of new signals activating throughout the solar system. Humanity chose a different path. We chose to prepare. The Kraxan flagship launched its fighter squadrons, energy weapons charging. But as they moved to attack Earth's orbital defenses, new signals appeared behind them. Hidden bases on Mars and Venus revealed themselves, launching swarms of automated defense drones. The asteroid belt came alive with weapons platforms and missile batteries. "You're surrounded, Ambassador," Sarah stated calmly. "Every move your fleet has made since entering our solar system was anticipated and countered. The technology you so graciously offered us, we reversed-engineered better versions decades ago." Krelvor's hologram trembled with rage. "You primitive. The time for insults is over." Admiral Rice's hologram appeared beside Sarah's. "Your fleet has two options, Ambassador. Withdraw immediately, or face the consequences of your attempted intimidation." The quantum sensors showed the Kraxan ships powering up their main weapons. Sarah had expected this too. Their species' psychological profile suggested they would choose conflict over humiliation. "So be it," she said quietly as the first alien shots were fired. "All defense grid units, execute containment protocols. Show them exactly what humanity has been hiding." The battle for Earth's orbit had begun, but unlike the Kraxans' expectations of a quick subjugation of a primitive species, they found themselves facing an enemy that had spent 60 years preparing for this exact moment. An enemy that had turned their own technology against them, improved upon it, and hidden its true strength until the perfect moment. Humanity's greatest deception was over. Now it was time for the truth. Counterattack. Multiple incoming trajectories. Lieutenant Tanaka's voice cut through the chaos of the command center. Kraxan fleet deploying their main battle formation. Sarah Chen remained calm as she studied the quantum tactical display. The alien ships spread out in a precise geometric pattern, their formation designed to maximize coverage of their energy weapon systems. It was textbook Kraxan military doctrine, and exactly what Earth's defense planners had anticipated. "Execute Protocol Hyper," she ordered. "All orbital platforms, initiate synchronized defense pattern Alpha." Earth's hidden defense grid came alive. What had appeared to be simple communications satellites revealed their true nature, quantum shields shimming into existence as they moved to counter the Kraxan advance. The International Space Station, humanity's supposed crown jewel of space achievement, shed its disguise completely, transforming into a state-of-the-art battle platform. Admiral Rice's voice came through the quantum link, fleet elements emerging from lunar shadow, initiating pincer movement. The Kraxan's first volley of energy weapons splashed harmlessly against Earth's quantum shields. Their second volley never fired. The entire alien fleet suddenly found their targeting systems compromised by quantum interference patterns that humanity had spent decades perfecting. "They're adapting," Tanaka reported, switching to secondary weapons arrays. Sarah nodded. "Deploy the Nemesis platforms." Throughout the asteroid belt, hidden weapons platforms activated. Each contained technology reverse-engineered from the Gobi crash site, enhanced by 60 years of human innovation. Streams of quantum-guided missiles emerged from their launch tubes, each one specifically designed to penetrate Kraxan defensive systems. High Ambassador Krelvor's voice boomed across all frequencies. "This treachery will not stand. Earth will learn the price of defying the Confederation." Phase 2, Sarah commanded, ignoring the threats. "Show them what humanity has really been working on." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, massive hangar doors opened. From the Mariana Trench emerged Earth's true fleet, ships that combined Kraxan technology with human ingenuity. Their quantum drives hummed to life as they rose through the waters, their hulls designed not just to match alien technology, but to surpass it. By the progenitors, at Kraxan Commander's intercepted transmission crackled. "Their ships, they're using modified versions of our own designs." Modified and improved. Admiral Rice responded on the same channel. Her flagship, the EDS Humanity's Dawn, led the Earth fleet into position. "While you saw us as primitives to be conquered, we studied every piece of technology you left behind. We learned. We adapted. We evolved." The battle erupted in earnest. Kraxan energy beams clashed with Earth's quantum shields while human vessels demonstrated maneuvers that should have been impossible for a primitive species. Each engagement revealed new surprises. Defensive systems that adapted to alien attacks, weapons that bypassed their strongest shields. Multiple Kraxan vessels attempting to break orbit, Tanaka announced. "They're trying to regroup at their lunar staging area." Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. "Activate the Luna-based defense grid." The moon's surface rippled as hidden installations revealed themselves. What the Kraxan had dismissed as simple impact craters were actually carefully disguised weapon emplacements. Quantum beam arrays emerged from the lunar regolith, catching the retreating alien ships in a devastating crossfire. "Their fleet is fragmenting," Admiral Rice reported, "breaking into smaller battle groups." As expected, Sarah responded. "Execute containment protocols. Don't let them regroup." Earth's ships moved with practiced precision, implementing battle plans rehearsed countless times in simulation. The Kraxans' attempts to counter were met with systems specifically designed to neutralize their tactics. Every strategy they tried had been analyzed and countered years before this battle began. High Ambassador Krelvor's flagship launched a desperate attack on the orbital defense grid. "You dare to turn our own technology against us. The Confederation will not forget this insult." "You still don't understand," Sarah transmitted back. "We didn't just copy your technology. We transcended it. Every gift you offered us, we had already improved upon. Those quantum shields you can't penetrate. They're based on principles your scientists haven't even discovered yet." The battle spread across the Earth-Moon system. Kraxan ships found their most powerful weapons rendered ineffective by defensive systems they couldn't comprehend. Their supposedly impenetrable shields failed against precisely calculated quantum strikes. Decades of human preparation systematically dismantled their technological advantages. "They're attempting to call for reinforcements," Tanaka warned. "Detecting quantum communication bursts aimed at the outer system." "Initiate final phase," Sarah ordered. "Show them Project Oracle." Throughout the solar system, quantum interference fields activated. The Kraxen's faster-than-light communications were caught in a web of human design, their distress calls dying before they could reach beyond Neptune's orbit. "You're isolated," Sarah transmitted to the alien fleet. "No help is coming. We've had 60 years to prepare this battlefield. Every piece of technology you see was designed for this exact moment." The Kraxen flagship launched one final assault, its weapons firing at maximum power. The beams struck the quantum shields protecting Earth's major cities, and were not just deflected, but redirected. The alien vessel's own energy was turned against it, its shields collapsing under the reflected force. "All Earth forces," Admiral Rice commanded, "execute final containment protocols. Show them the full extent of humanity's capabilities." The battle reached its crescendo as Earth's combined forces moved in perfect coordination. Ships that had hidden beneath the oceans, crews that had trained in secret for generations, and technology that had evolved far beyond its alien origins, all focused on a single purpose. The Kraxen fleet, which had arrived expecting to find an easily subjugated primitive species, instead faced the full might of a humanity that had spent 60 years preparing for this exact confrontation. "Signal from the Kraxen flagship," Tanaka announced. They're requesting terms of surrender." Sarah exchanged glances with Admiral Rice's hologram. The moment they had prepared for had finally arrived. Earth hadn't just survived first contact. It had turned the tables completely on would-be conquerors. "Prepare to receive their surrender," Sarah ordered, "and send word to the Council. It's time to show the Confederation exactly what humanity is capable of when pushed too far." New dawn. The Kraxen's surrender ceremony took place aboard the International Space Station, now revealed as humanity's most advanced orbital command center. Sarah Chen stood at the observation window, watching the defeated alien fleet hanging motionless against Earth's blue horizon. Their mighty ships, once proud and threatening, now floated under the watchful eyes of humanity's defense grid. "The surrender documents are prepared, Doctor," Lieutenant Tanaka reported, his tablet displaying text in both human and Kraxen script. "The Confederation representatives are ready." High Ambassador Krelvor entered the chamber, his once pristine ceremonial armor now bearing scorch marks from his flagship's battle damage. His secondary eyes remained downcast, a clear sign of submission in Kraxen body language. Behind him, the surviving ship commanders formed a somber procession. "Before we begin," Sarah said, her voice carrying easily in the station's perfect acoustics, "there's something you should see." She gestured, and the station's quantum projectors activated, the space around them filled with holographic displays showing facilities across the solar system. "These are just some of our hidden developments," she explained. "Quantum engineering centers in the Martian caverns, automated manufacturing complexes throughout the asteroid belt, research stations in Venus's upper atmosphere. While you saw primitive rockets and basic satellites, we built an infrastructure that spans the entire solar system." Krelvor's primary eyes widened as he took in the scope of human achievement. "Impossible. Your species only achieved basic spaceflight decades ago." Admiral Rice stepped forward, her dress uniform immaculate. "No, Ambassador. That's simply what we wanted the galaxy to believe. The Gobi crash site taught us not just about your technology, but about the Confederation's tendency to guide younger civilizations toward your preferred path of development." The holographic displays shifted, showing the quantum defense network that had so thoroughly defeated the Kraxen fleet. "We chose a different approach," Sarah continued. "We hid our true progress, maintaining a facade of technological inferiority while preparing for the day you would inevitably arrive." "But why?" one of the Kraxen commanders asked. "Why deceive us? The Confederation brings order and advancement to the galaxy. You bring subjugation wrapped in the guise of mentorship," Sarah corrected. "We've studied your history through the Gobi archives. Every species you've guided has become dependent on Kraxen technology, bound by Confederation laws and protocols. We chose independence." The surrender ceremony proceeded with careful precision. The Kraxen representatives signed agreements acknowledging Earth's sovereignty and technological advancement. More importantly, they committed to sharing the truth about humanity's capabilities with the wider galactic community. As the formalities concluded, Sarah activated one final holographic display. "There's one more thing you should understand about humanity," she said. The image showed a new ship under construction in a hidden lunar facility, larger than anything the Kraxan had ever built, incorporating technologies they barely understood. "This is the EDS Pioneer," Admiral Rice announced, "humanity's first true deep space exploration vessel. While we prepared our defenses, we never lost sight of our true goal: to reach for the stars on our own terms." Krelvor studied the massive ship with a mixture of awe and apprehension. "You've surpassed us," he admitted finally. "In mere decades, you've taken our basic principles and evolved them beyond our understanding." "Because we had to," Sarah replied. "Your arrival forced humanity to unite, to push our capabilities beyond normal development." Every nation, every scientist, every resource focused on a single goal: ensuring Earth's independence and survival. The defeated ambassador's secondary eyes flickered with genuine curiosity. "And now, what does humanity plan to do with its achievement?" Sarah turned back to the window, watching Earth rotate peacefully below. "Now we take our place among the stars, not as subordinates or protectorates, but as equals. The Confederation will need to adapt to a new reality, one where humanity stands ready to defend not just itself, but any species that seeks true independence." As the Kraxan delegation departed, Admiral Rice joined Sarah at the window. "The Council is already receiving messages from other worlds," she reported. "News of our victory is spreading. Several species under Confederation protection are requesting Earth's assistance in developing their own independent technology." "And so the real work begins," Sarah mused. The quantum displays showed the EDS Pioneer's construction progress, its massive frame promising a future where humanity would explore the galaxy on its own terms. "We've proved we can defend ourselves. Now it's time to show the galaxy a different path, one of genuine cooperation and mutual advancement." The defeated Kraxan fleet began its long journey home, escorted by Earth vessels to the solar system's edge. But they left behind more than just signed surrender documents. They had given humanity something far more valuable: proof that our species could not only survive first contact, but emerge stronger from it. In her private quarters later that night, Sarah reviewed the data from the Gobi crash site one final time. The artifacts that had once seemed so advanced, so mysterious, now appeared almost primitive compared to what humanity had achieved. In preparing to defend itself, our species had pushed the boundaries of science and technology far beyond what anyone thought possible. Message from the Council. Lieutenant Tanaka's voice interrupted her thoughts. "They're ready to begin Phase 2. Sarah smiled, closing the Gobi files forever. The next chapter of human history was about to begin, not as the primitive species the Kraxan had expected to find, but as a civilization that had earned its place among the stars through ingenuity, determination, and the simple human drive to reach beyond its grasp. "Send word to all stations," she ordered. "Project Prometheus is now active. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." Above Earth, the EDS Pioneer's quantum drives hummed to life, preparing for its maiden voyage. Humanity had defended its home. Now it was time to explore its future, on its own terms, with its own technology, and with the promise of true independence lighting the way forward. The stars awaited, and this time, humanity was ready.